Welcome to Bonehead Guitars. Let's go build some junk. Try to do some experimenting with filler. And since I'm always doing a natural finish, I don't want colored filler. Okay, which leaves me with a problem. What the hell do I use? You've probably seen, there've been a time or two I tried Aqua Coat. Now, Aqua Coat, I don't know. In the right circumstances, it may be a good thing to use. It shrinks when it dries. It's not ideal. You'd have to do multiple coats to get it to do what you want. Because of the way Wingate is, I did some experimenting with filling it with epoxy with a very thin coat, and then sanding all of that shit off so that it was just in the cracks. This particular piece of Wingate had loads and loads of little cracks and little spots. So, just to make life simpler, I just coated the whole damn top, and I actually did it in 2 different stages because shit dries fast. But actually, I think I did it in like 2 stages, and then I had a couple places I needed to go back and do a little more. But I'm happy with it. I mean, it was a pain in the ass to try to scrape and or sand off, but you just work through that, and it worked out pretty good. So, yeah, I've been doing a lot of sanding and work on the back, and left this beautiful top sitting on this shit-ass plywood. So, but you know, we're not quite to fine sanding yet anyway. So, but I think because of a couple little spots in particular, I think we're going to try doing a full coat of shit on the back. So when it comes time to finish it, it'll be shiny. So here it goes. I mean, it's the worst that could happen anyway. Now, all epoxies are not equal. So, my advice, there are certain things you just don't skimp on. Truss rods and epoxy are 2 of them. Now, we want this as thin as humanly possible, so it's easier to sand back later. Now, doing this, be warned, it's virtually impossible to keep from getting the shit on you, but you can always try. Ah, that shit smells nasty. We do need a decent idea of where our control holes are going to go. Okay, you have missed a few things. I should have been taping. I didn't. I'm sorry. I know the whole point of this channel is to, you know, show the reality and including the mistakes and show, you know, how we get past those mistakes, what we learn from them. So I've been a bad boy. You know, there have been a time or two I'm thinking, I don't know how this is going to go, so maybe I don't want to tape it. Which is not right. It's against the plan. What I did, I mixed up some 2-part epoxy and spread on a very, very, well, as thin of a coat as I could. And then between scrapers and relatively fine grit paper on the orbital, tried to clean it up nice and make it all nice and smooth. I think it gave us a nice, clean, flat surface to finish. And I have no doubt the top is going to look good. The back, I didn't worry so much on the back about getting it all sanded off, except, you know, what was actually filling the cracks. But man, that stuff is smooth as baby butt. So I think this is okay. I don't think this is going to cause any discoloration when we throw finish on it. There was one particular little place where the Peruvian walnut stripe was cut just a little bit too tight, so there are actually a little bit of tool marks right there. I don't know yet if I'm going to worry about that. I should, because we need to be striving for perfection, even though we'll never reach it. But I don't know. You know, 1 little inch on a 1/4 inch thick stripe on the back. Maybe I've had the wrong attitude. All along I've thought, it's the back, who cares? You know, they're going to be belt buckle scrapes and shit anyway. But maybe that's the wrong attitude. But to be honest, I'm not sure that was the only thing you missed. I did a little bit of thinning of the neck as well, which required a little bit of shaping to recontour and fine sanding. There's been lots and lots and lots and lots of sanding, which, yeah, no, I don't think anybody's really hurt by missing out on that. But okay, I can see my holes that I've poked. What I was planning on is doing a very small guide hole straight through, perpendicular to the back, and sink a Forstner just big enough to accept our knob, centered on that tiny guide hole, and then from the back, based on that guide hole, drill as deep as we need to with Forstner to get it to the thickness we need to accept the pot. That's what I'm thinking. Now, I've tried that in the past, like I said, except I think in the past I used a much larger hole instead of a tiny guide hole. So a lot of times those knobs didn't quite line up entirely right, which I think is what, you know, caused most of the problems with that approach. That, coupled with trying to keep homemade knobs absolutely centered on their to keep the insert hole on homemade knobs completely centered to the knob. I think it was some combination of those two things that caused the problems in the past. And what am I talking about? Well, here's a perfect example. The leopard wood top. That's what we were trying to do here. And I don't know that it was a great idea with the 3-way, except it turned out alright. But okay, with the volume knob it's okay, except the hole that we use to accept that is a little bit larger than the knob. So I'm not entirely happy with that. But with the tone knob, I don't know if you can see that, the tone knob was not entirely centered. So if you want to roll the tone off, it rubs on the Forstner hole, which is not good. So I want to try, I want to make sure that we avoid that situation on this one. You know, so we try to figure out what the problem is and how to fix it. So that's what we need to do. That, along with building our pickup rings, and we need to build knobs too. And for this one I need maple knobs. So that's our next steps. Thanks for sticking around. Hope you enjoyed it. Like this video, go subscribe. Meet me back here next time. We got more stuff to do.